What's up, everybody? What's going on? Welcome to another episode of the Lead From Here podcast. I'm Jason. Today we're talking about confidence as a leader, and this is a dangerous topic because for a lot of reasons, confidence is a slippery slope. Confidence is a slippery slope. And at the end of the day, if you go down that slippery slope, you put yourself at risk of becoming arrogant, narcissistic, tone deaf, a lot of different things that are not good places for leaders to be. So I'm going to talk about this because it is very important to understand confidence and exude confidence to an extent. And that's what we'll try and dive into here. Being confident is good. When you talk to your team and you are leading your team, and you're leading the people that you're working with, if you're not an actual titled person, if you're just leading a group of people trying to get something done in your company or your community or your family, it can feel like you are not 100% sure. This feels like the right way. And so if you kind of take that and say, hey, to your people and say, listen, I think this is the right way. It could go not great. Maybe, I think we're going to go this way and we'll see what happens. That doesn't instill confidence in your team, in your group. It just doesn't. And that's something that as a leader, you have to instill confidence. So it's much better if you go into it and be like, hey, so looking at all the data, kind of looking at what the customer needs or what we need for this group or for this community or this church or this family or whatever, looking at what we need. I think the best plan right now is to do this, this, and this. And we'll execute it by doing this, this, and this. That will allow them to feel like, okay, he or she feels good about this. I think I can get behind this. It doesn't mean you're going to be right. Hopefully you've done your research and you're making it as educated a guess as possible in this situation, but you can still get things wrong. And that's ultimately okay. It's okay to be confident and feel good about it. If you feel good about something and you have a plan and you share that plan and you are confident in your delivery, people will get behind you, and there's a much greater chance that you'll find success in that plan when you bring it with confidence and bring it with, a solid plan behind it. That also makes it easier to have confidence if you have the solid plan behind it, ultimately. But what you got to be careful of is, one, blind confidence. So don't just say you're confident just because you're confident. If you didn't do the due diligence, go back and do that. Go build that confidence through proof. Prove to yourself, look at it, say, hey, I feel good about this because I pulled this data, or I looked at this customer results, or I looked at whatever you needed to look at. Actually do the due diligence. Don't just say no, this is going to work. I know it's going to work. I just feel it in my gut. Sometimes that works out, very rarely. The second thing is make sure that if you're wrong, you own it. Because if you're confident, this is going to work, I know it's going to work, and then it fails, and then you're like, I knew it was going to work, and everybody's like, it didn't work. And you're like, if you just move on to the next thing without saying, guys, I made a call and I was wrong, I apologize, I'll try and do better next time. If you don't do that, people will be like, what is this person doing? They're not owning the fact that they were wrong and they made a mistake. It's not a problem that you made a mistake. It's just as long as you own it. And then ultimately, the last piece is don't mix up confidence for arrogance. Arrogance in the face of a team or a group or a family can be an absolute virus. It can absolutely tear apart a team, tear apart a group, tear apart a family. Arrogance has no place in leadership. Nope, none, zero. So if you're feeling like it's an arrogant or, this air of greater than thou, it's time to check yourself. It's time to look in the mirror and say, what am I bringing that makes me think I can do that? Because odds are you're probably not going to find success with a team, at least not maybe in the short term. Maybe you can kind of get people to rally behind you if you're really good at your job and you're finding success. You might be able to do it for a little bit, but at some point that's going to blow up in your face, and then everybody's going to be like, see, that guy was just an arrogant prick. That's not a good thing. That lady's just arrogant. All those things are bad. So try and avoid arrogance. Build confidence through understanding the work and understand what you're building. And own it when you're wrong. I hope this was helpful. If you guys have any questions or want to dig more into this, please hit me up, jason@leadfromhere.co, or any of the social media channels. I check all of them pretty regularly. Yeah, that's it. I appreciate you guys.